everybody. I am very excited that we are going to have an inaugural candidate exchange. And I wanted to invite everybody to please share this show, tune into this show. You can watch it afterwards, it'll be uploaded to the YouTube channel. But I will be airing this show during my normal Casey Ingram Show time slot, Wednesday at 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. It's again, an inaugural candidate exchange. I'd like to thank Michael Circus and Bruce Nathan. Both of these are candidates for Martin County Commission District 5. They're running on the Republican ticket for the incumbent commissioner, Ed Campy. Commissioner Campy is out of town this week, so he will not be participating, but both of the other candidates, they are the opponents, and they're really looking forward to the show. When I was trying to put something like this together, I wanted to put together a format that was completely unbiased. We're in a small area. I know most of the candidates. I'm friends with some of the candidates, so I wanted to remove my component out of it because I completely respect every candidate that files to run for a race. And I think it's important that as voters we have a choice and we get to listen to them all. And I love having somebody to choose from and hearing different perspectives. So one thing I cherish during campaign seasons is listening to everybody's perspective. I don't care what party you're from. I want to hear from you and hear your platform and what you would do to represent the citizens of Martin County, state of Florida, whatever you happen to be running for. So with this format, I just wanted to share with you. I kind of thought if I was a candidate, I would like to ask my opponent some questions because I think as candidates or as a sitting incumbent, you probably have some questions, or you might feel there's some differences between yourself and the candidate that you might want to share with voters. So what I've asked these candidates to do, and they have agreed to this, is to provide each other with 3 questions each. There will be no ambush questions. I'm not about that. I want to give every candidate a fair platform here. So these candidates will know the questions ahead of time, but each of them have come up with 3 questions that they've submitted to the other candidate. I will share those on the show Wednesday at 10 a.m., and then we're going to have an exchange. So I've just asked they keep everything professional. They keep their questions and comments on point to the job, no personal attacks. And guess what? I have a red button in the studio. So should that ever happen, I don't believe it'll happen with these candidates, but should I have candidates in the studio that start going down a path that is a personal attack or not related to the job, I do have a red button that mutes. So we can keep that under control as well. But like I said, I don't even think that we even have to worry about that issue, but letting you as listeners know that option is out there. Beyond that, we'll go through those 3 questions each. Will be 6 different questions, and we'll spend the rest of the hour answering your questions. But again, I don't have a way to screen questions coming in, so I need you to send me your questions ahead of the show. Please email them to me. I've had some come in already to my email address, caseyingram@pm.me. You can see it there in the comments, caseyingram@pm.me. Send your questions in. We're going to answer them as time permits. Any questions I don't get to, the candidates are going to come back on a one-on-one show with just me, and I will ask those questions then, and they will be there for a full hour. So if you are on Facebook or on my website, there's a calendar of the upcoming candidates. The CaseyIngramShow.net is my website. If you go there, there's a calendar link. You'll see all the upcoming shows, and you can tell which candidates will be on when, and that's another time. Again, please always submit your questions to me ahead of time or during Facebook Live feeds. I just cannot take live calls during the show because they cannot be screened. So I'm really excited about this. A special shout out to Michael Circus and Bruce Nathan for both of you being willing to come on the show. To be honest with you, I've offered this to all the candidates. And many of the candidates have said yes, but then there's other candidates who said no. So if I don't have 2 candidates in the same race that are willing to come on, obviously there is no exchange. So that's why you're only seeing this one right now. But we may have some other shows coming up. We'll see. But I'm super excited about this one. I hope the format is unique. I hope everybody gets something out of it that's beneficial for us, the voters, to understand what the candidate feels important. Again, these questions may give us some insight of what they're focusing on as candidates, what they feel is their main differences between themselves and the other candidate. Who knows? But their questions are just as important as hearing the answers. And I'm only there to moderate and answer. I am not there to give my opinion, tell them they're right or wrong, fact check, nothing like that. We're going to straight out hear about the candidates. And again, I want to hear from you as constituents what your questions, concerns are for the candidates. Please send them CaseyIngram@pm.me, and I definitely will keep track of them. If we don't get to them on the show, because I only have about 50 minutes of live airtime, if for some reason we're not able to get to those, I will ask them when they come back on the show during their hour time slots. So that'll be this Wednesday. I also want to remind everybody, and just so you know, we're going to flip a quarter. There's some candidate rules, but we're going to flip a quarter before the show. Who goes first? And it's as fair as I can make it. Beyond that, it's very important that we all vote. There's just over 113,000 registered voters in Martin County, 1,1370 according to Vicki Davis, our Martin County Supervisor of Elections. Of that, 53,246 residents are registered Democrat or another affiliation. I bring this out because it's over half of our registered voters will not be able to vote in the District 1 Martin County Commission race. But there's a simple solution, folks. There's a write-in candidate, which means that race is now closed only if you're registered as a Republican voter. Very important I'm speaking to 53,000 other registered voters right now. If you want to vote in the Martin County Commission District 1 race, which is Commissioner Doug Smith and his Eileen Vargas is the opponent, and there is also a write-in candidate that will come up. You need to write his name in on the November ballot. It's legal. A lot of people don't like it. It disenfranchises the 53,000 voters because it is a closed primary. If we had Democrats running, you'd have your own candidates to vote for, but there are not any. So, end of the day, folks, it's a simple process. Just go to martinvotes.org. You go to register to vote or update my record. It's a big red banner just a few inches down from the top. You click on that link, and then you'll click on the next link, register or update your registration. You can do it right from your phone, right from your computer. Super simple. Yes, it means you're going to have to register as a Republican if you're not for just a few weeks, but as soon as that primary is over, you can go right back on the computer and change it back. Simplest process ever. As many of you know, I kind of had a little protest about one of the Republican decisions earlier last year. I did change my party registration to no party affiliation for a time, but I have changed back to Republican now because I want to vote. I want to say in my races here locally, and I hope all of you do as well. Really, that's the way that you're going to be able to vote for all of these races. The rest of the races are open. It doesn't matter, but if you want to vote in the District 1, which is Commissioner Doug Smith, Eileen Vargas, and the write-in candidate is, I think it's Kevin or Keith DeAngelis. And again, you'd have to write in Keith's name in November. He's not a factor here in the primary other than it closed the primary. So I just wanted to run through that. martinvotes.org. Register to vote or update your record. Click that link. Register, update is the next link, and it walks you right through it. It is so incredibly simple. It only takes a couple minutes, and then you can change right back after the primary. So I just encourage that because I want everybody to be a part of the process. I think it's important we all exercise our right to vote, and I do not want anybody to not be able to vote because they didn't realize that race was closed. It's one of those loopholes that I'll talk about it here just for a second because a lot of people are very frustrated. They're disenfranchised. They feel it's unethical. It shouldn't be used. However, it's perfectly legal. It needs to be changed at the state level in Tallahassee, and frankly, both parties, neither one are willing to change it. And again, that's from Tallahassee. So as long as it's in play through Tallahassee, it's perfectly legal for our local candidates to use it. If you don't like it, please look at your voter registration, and then you can participate in all the races here in Martin County. So again, I want to just invite everybody. This is going to be a wonderful candidate exchange on Wednesday. It's going to air on WSTU AM 1450 from 10:05 a.m. to 11 a.m. It'll be between Michael Circus and Bruce Nathan. They are running for Martin County Commission District 5, which is currently held by Commissioner Ed Campy, who is the incumbent and is running again for office, but will not be in this particular exchange, but he will be on my show August 7th at 9 a.m. So send your questions to me, CaseyIngram@pm.me. I'd love to have those. It's just the process for all of us to join in. And if you have some other candidates that you're wondering if they're going to be coming on the show, just go ahead and ask the candidates, and they can answer you if they're going to be participating, if why or why not, what have you. But for my own part, I'm very happy that Bruce and Michael are. I thank them. I think it's an important process for all of us as voters just to get them to know them better. And I appreciate you tuning in to WSTU AM 1450, listening to me on the radio. And of course, this will be streamed right here live on my Facebook page, The Casey Ingram Show, and afterwards I will upload that to my YouTube channel. I ask you to please subscribe to my YouTube channel because every time I upload a video, it'll notify you and you'll know another candidate interview has been uploaded. So just go to YouTube, type in The Casey Ingram Show, and you should see that and get all those updates. So in the meantime, I hope you all enjoy the candidate exchange. Please share it. Please let your friends and neighbors know this is happening. It's a great way just to get to know those candidates better. And we're going to see them interact with each other and be able to ask their own questions of each other. It's something we don't typically see in forums or just meet and greets. So I look forward to it. I hope this is a format you all find helpful and useful in making your decision on who you want to be your next Martin County Commission person or representative in District 5. So until Wednesday at 10 a.m., I bid you all farewell. Stay safe out there, and thank you so much for your support over the years, and we'll see you Wednesday morning.